Hey y'all. Last installment here going over Snell's law. So before we did a problem where we were trying to find an angle. And this problem's a bit different where instead of trying to find an angle, we're given the angles. And we have this unknown substance that we're trying to figure out what our index of refraction is. So let's read through the problem. A ray of light is traveling through air when it hits the surface of a pool of an unknown substance at an angle of 55 degrees relative to vertical. Once it hits the surface, the ray bends and makes an angle of 33 degrees relative to vertical. What must this unknown substance be? Hint, find the index of refraction n and then look above at the table to determine the substance. So this is really cool. You find a piece of glass or something and you're like, well, maybe I could use Snell's law to figure out what it is. So let's start with what we're given, right? So we know that we have an unknown, we start with an angle of 55 degrees, right? And so that's going to be our angle of incidence, right? So this is angle 1, and so that's going to be our theta 1 right here. So we know that's going to be 55. And then if we look at the surface, the ray bends and makes an angle of 33 degrees, so that's our angle of rarefaction relative, or the angle of reflection relative to vertical. What must the unknown substance be, right? And so we know we're going through air, which has an n of 1. And so this gives us all the values we need, right? Where we know n is equal to 1. We're trying to find n2. And we have a value of 55 degrees and 33 degrees. So we start out by writing out our full equation here. After that, we're trying to get n2 by itself, right? So we're trying to get this value by itself. So what do we have to do is, well, we have to actually take out this term right here. So we actually have to divide by the sine of theta 2. Working that together, we get this equation, right, where n2 is equal to n1 sine of theta 1 over sine of theta 2. From there, we can just plug in our numbers, right? So we've got 1 is equal to n1. We get sine of 55 divided by sine of 33. Always remember to keep your calculator in degrees instead of radians so that you can figure out what the answer is. You want to make sure both of your calculators are in degrees so you don't get the wrong answer. And we found an index of 1.5. And if we go back through to our first slide, we can see 1.5, that's benzene right here. And so you can say that unknown substance is benzene using Snell's law. There's one more question in this problem set, and feel free to get started on it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thanks, y'all. Have a good one.